Hello and welcome to She Drives, the podcast where we talk all things automotive while empowering women in the car scene. Now today we're joined by a very special guest, first guest on She Drives as well, and well, to say she's a rising star in the rallying scene is, yes, it's saying one thing, but you've just completed Motorsport Ireland's Class 2A Junior Rally Championship, and probably one girl in the rallying scene that you've definitely heard of. So behind the wheel today with us is Ciara Duggan.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm great.
How does it feel to be the very first guest on?
Absolute privilege.
Yeah.
Honoured. Yeah.
Love it. I'm so excited for this.
So am I.
So just a bit about you. I mean, you're a rally driver and you do mechanicing as well.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else we need to know about?
Not really. That's about it.
Yeah.
My main... That's literally the main focus of my life is cars, rallying, anything with an engine, really.
Love that. That's what we're here for.
Exactly, yeah, that's it.
So what got you first into rallying?
I actually did not like cars at all growing up. I done everything you could think of under the sun, but I didn't like it at all. My dad rallied for a very long time, and he sort of stopped rallying whenever I was about 2 or 3, and he did not rally for ages, and he didn't even want to go to the rallies because he'd get so jealous. He's like, oh, I should have been doing that. But and then we went out to the World Rally Championship in Spain in 2016, and whenever you see the level that those boys are on, and you know they're doing slide bys on gravel at they're going 180 kilometers an hour, it's just mental, and you're there, and it's just the engine leaves you shaking. Whenever they go by, it's absolutely phenomenal. It's something, unless you've experienced it, it infects you. You're like, that's it, right? Okay, grand. So ever since I would have been 11 then, and that was me. God, absolutely loved it. And then, sort of about 2 years later, my daddy was like, right, we're gonna get you started. So we bought a 206 and we completely stripped it out, put a roll cage in it, bucket seats, whole lot, and I started doing track days from I was 13, I think. I just had turned 13 and it was great. I just loved it, and that wee car, my wee Gracie, God, oh, I miss her so much. It was so much fun. But that really taught me the basics there, and how to drive. Obviously I knew how to drive, I drove up in the countryside, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but that really taught me the car control and things like that as well. And then that was probably my foundation then. I'd done the Junior 1000 Championship 2 years ago. Again, it just took a notion. And we went down to the Motorsport Ireland Academy, had an open day to sort of push the Junior 1000. It was open to everybody, so it was in Galway, and so me and my daddy went down, and on the way up the road we were like, right, we're doing it. I was like, I don't know, are we? So the next day then he found a Toyota Ego on Gumtree, and we went and bought it off the loveliest people ever, and the same thing, stripped it out, roll cage, bucket seats, built it ourselves. Had a lot of help with people, my brother helped a lot, but it was mainly my daddy, to be fair, done a lot, because I was coming in from work and I was working in rally cars all day every day, and the last thing I wanted to look at was a rally car.
Go home and do more.
So he done a lot of it, and in my first event in Killarney, we went all the way down to Killarney, my first event, and I put her off the road on the first stage, about a kilometre in. And so that was okay. And there's a thing in rally, and you're able, if you're out within a certain time, you're able to go back out and do the loop again.
Right.
So that was grand, no problem, great. Get back out, do this loop again. Exact same thing happened. Off the road, in the same place. So that really taught me then. It's like, oh, this is cutthroat. And Duffy, my navigator, he's been navigating for years. He's like, this is literally the first time this has ever happened to me. And I was like, oh no,
that's the worst thing you want to hear.
But we got through that championship, and it was such good crack, and the friends you make, and the people you meet and the support from people is just fantastic. The rally communities, you could ask for anything and they'll break your back. They'll try and help you out. That was sort of it. And then obviously last year I upgraded again.
Mm-hmm. So I know your brother does drifting as well. Mm-hmm. Have you ever thought about doing the drifting, or was it always just kind of the rallying for you?
I did think about it. I actually considered giving it a go this year, maybe.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that'll happen when they see if Connor will give me a land of a car, maybe. But
be better.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, it was sort of his thing, so I never really crossed over into it. But I love, like, I don't want to say if you give me the option, I'd go watch a drift event, but spectator wise, drifting is so much better to watch because you can see everything happening. Yeah,
instead of just like standing at a stage of rally and it's just like 5 seconds, it's gone.
Yeah, pretty much. But that, as a spectator sport, and obviously it's grown so much so quickly. And whenever Connor started, it was such a small group, especially in Northern Ireland. I think it was the AMA Championship they called it. Connor, he started in it in a beat up Beamer. Like, oh my god, it was the roughest car you've ever seen. And he still has that exact same car. That car that he has now. No, is it? I think it's the same shell. That could be such a lie. Maybe it's not, but and obviously last year then he took a real proper go at it. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see if he'll need to teach me first. I think I would be. I don't know. I think I'd be totally handless when it comes to drifting.
You never know. I mean, I suppose with drifting is you can literally turn up in like a £900 BMW and like that's it.
It's so easily accessible.
Yeah, compared to
rallying, and like it teaches you so much as well. But you'll always find a rally driver could get into any car and drive it, whereas it would take maybe a drifter or like a Formula 1 driver a lot harder to get used to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't know if I would go into it. I'd love to try it.
You may as well try it. Just try it for the crack.
We'll see. We'll see.
So obviously you were talking like your first rally experience. What was that like?
I was just so excited to get out. I remember that first day, I was down in the track in a hoodie. It was freezing cold. I think it was a September time. Went out and there's 5 people in my class that day. I ended up getting the third because the other 2 didn't finish. But I was like, here, you gotta finish.
Yeah, you gotta finish. At least you finished.
Yeah, at least I finished in it. So that gave me a wee confidence boost, and that car had seen more wings and bumpers. Like, I know, like, I don't know how many bumpers I've been through, but me and Bales just get on really well.
Yeah,
just seem to attract each other. Yeah. So that was lovely. And especially too, it's something that me and my daddy were able to bond over.
Yeah.
And it gives you that as well. And even Connor, although he was drifting, but it still gives you something to chat about.
Yeah, I feel like, I know with me growing up with cars, like, it just made you like that little bit closer with them. You could have nothing else in common with like your brothers or anything, but as soon as the car like is on,
exactly.
Like, the talk is just like that.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's the best thing about it, I would say, is that we'd be quite close, and I don't think we'd be as close otherwise.
Yeah.
Because it is such a passion in our family.
Yeah. So. Did you find going into rallying, did you find there being any challenges for you?
There's challenges for everybody. I didn't necessarily at the time feel as though there was any challenges. There probably was. Like, obviously you get the sly comments and all behind your back and all that there. Always. But you're going to get that. Do you know what I mean? You're going to get that, but you'll get that.
You know what? This podcast went out, and within the first 2 weeks we've already had 8 comments coming in. And the funniest thing, I know I probably shouldn't be saying this, but the funniest thing was it went into a filtered comment, and the guy commented, "She can't drive," with a laughing emoji. So maybe me, I went onto his profile and just to like see who it was. And he was riding a motorbike, and the video that he posted was him coming off the motorbike on the motocross, and the temptation for me to comment, "He can't drive." But I didn't, I took the higher road. But he's being mentioned now, so...
Yeah. Watch out.
Watch out.
That's your warning. No, like, it is. It's just like a sweet things that got there, but you use that to your advantage because that just drives you on more.
Yeah,
like
100%.
You just have to use it for fuel. Like, I never have felt like I've been treated differently necessarily, but you know. But then it has its positives, because then there's people that really want to see you do well, and they'll do everything they can.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if it was a boy in my position, they wouldn't.
Oh yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it has its positives, but also, like, you know, you have a lot of people would say a lot behind your back and wouldn't say it to your face.
Yeah, you get those everywhere, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
But what about whenever, obviously, you're in the rally stage? Do you have a lot of adrenaline?
It's total adrenaline. It's all you're running on.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally all. It's there's no words you can really use to describe it unless you feel it. Like,
yeah,
it's just like you be on the stage and your foot's on the clutch and your leg is just bouncing, like absolutely shaking, and you're like, just don't stop, just don't stop.
Does the adrenaline die down like the further into the rally, or is it just constant until you finish and you're like, thank God that's over?
Yeah, well, there's rallies like that. Like, there's rallies you just need to get through and get the points for the championship. There's other rallies that you just have to soak in every moment of it and enjoy it, and it's so hard to do that in the time, because you're so focused. Like, that's probably, I would say, the hardest part is keeping your concentration for that period of time. Like, you're going in maybe doing 15, 16 kilometre stages, and you know, you could be on a stage for 10, 12 minutes, and that doesn't sound like a lot, but whenever you have to be focused for 10 minutes straight, and like, you cannot think of anything else bar what your navigator's telling you in your ear, that's like, that can get really difficult, and you can lose your focus, and most of the time your navigator will tell you when you're losing your focus as well.
Just straight to the point.
Yeah, pretty much.
What would you say having focus would be like one of the main skills to have as a rally driver?
Your concentration, obviously like reactions and stuff like that there, but being able to just zone out and leave everything on the start line, which is another thing that I love about it too, because you can't think of anything else.
Yeah.
You know? Don't get me wrong. There's sometimes you'll be going down a straight and you're singing a wee song to yourself, and you're like, wait, I'm going a bit too fast for me to be doing this in the middle of a forest somewhere. But no, like, focus is definitely up there. A lot of concentration. A lot of people don't see, you know, 2 weeks leading up to a rally, you're watching the videos of the guys that make the pace notes are putting out, and you're watching them for maybe 2-3 hours every night, memorising every part of the stage. I was doing more or less all my own work to the car as well, so the preparation behind that before you even get to a rally is the hardest. That is the thing you need the most, and that's what, it's nice like that whenever you want to go out with your friends and you're like, I can't really do that. Can't really do that. Have a rally next week. Yeah.
So you have to give up.
Yeah, there's sacrifices. There's sacrifices, but like, it's all worth it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. What would you say is the toughest course that you've been on?
That's a good question. I would say Mayo last year, tarmac. It was meant to be a tarmac rally, but it was like a forestry. It was so dirty and wet and guttery and cold, and people were going off, so you were waiting for maybe an hour for a stage to get going again, and it just wasn't a great rally, and it was my first ever tarmac event too, so that just made it the whole lot worse. But once I got to the end of it, it was one of them rallies, I was like, thank God that's over. And Dylan, God bless him, was so sick that weekend too, and I dragged him out of his bed to come do a rally. But he was... Rally's
more important.
Yeah, he was so sick, bless him, and he was losing his voice at the end of the last stage. And I was just there, I was like, I just need to get to the finish, because if I crash now, that's... like...
I suppose they actually would have to be in like good health as well, like if they lost their voice.
Yeah, you sure... We lost our intercom in the first stage in Carriganshire last year, and it was hand signals for about the first 2 kilometres. Like... And that's difficult. That is so difficult, because it's bad enough them talking and you trust in your notes, but whenever they just have their hands and you can't hear them, that's even worse.
Oh God.
Yeah,
better you than me. You're here.
I'm
so
here.
You got there in the end.
Yeah, we finished that rally. I think we were 3rd in that rally, so that wasn't too bad.
That's good. Like,
we got finished anyway.
Would you have any like pre-rituals before a race? Do you have any like superstitions or anything?
A bottle of BPM and a jambon is my breakfast.
Is that the go-to?
I do not eat anything else in the morning because it'll throw me off. That is probably my main one. And yeah, tan gets done, lashes get done, eyebrows are done, makeup's on. That's just, I always think if, you know, you look good, you feel good, you do good.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
100%.
So
I think that's a lot of things like girls can relate to. Like full tan on lashes, you're just like, I rule this world.
Exactly. It just makes you feel so much better. The boys always be laughing because we could be sitting in Park Ferme and I'm there in my wee makeup bag and I'm like, doing my makeup. They're like, what are you doing? Like, no one's going to see you. I was like, yeah, but I can see you.
Yeah, but it's for me. It's not for you.
Exactly.
It's for me.
Exactly. So that's probably my rituals. Yeah, jam bomb and a bottle of BBM. I'll never drink BBM any other time.
Really?
Yeah, that's it. Like, that's
love that.
Yeah.
So now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you've said you've raced in a Peugeot 206.
Mm-hmm.
You had a Toyota.
I did.
And you've just recently sold your Fiesta.
Well, she's still there.
Oh, still there.
She's still there.
We'll put that out.
If you want to buy her, you can have her. No, she's still there. I'm hoping I might get another rally out of it this year. Mm-hmm. Maybe. We'll see.
So which of those three would be your favourite?
They're all my favourite for different reasons. I have such sentimental value to the 206 because she was my first car.
Yeah.
The Aigo taught me so much and they're so fun.
Right.
It's a 1 litre car. It literally weighs no more than 900 kilos and it is just bouncing all over the road in these forests. Like, it is, like, I think it was the Moonraker. There's a picture of me coming out of a rut on 2 wheels. Like, she just bounces because it's so light.
Mm-hmm.
That there probably, I don't know. And then the Fiesta, she's more power and it's a sequential walks and it's left-hand drive. I'm going to say the Aigo. I had the most fun in it because there wasn't as much pressure with it as well because it was my first year properly on the stages.
Yeah. Bumper after bumper.
Yeah. Pretty much. I didn't go through any bumpers in the Aigo.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. No, I was that scared of hitting it. I wasn't going fast enough. That was probably the problem there.
Did you have a name for each of them? Like, would you name your cars?
The Peugeot was called Gracie. I don't know where that came from. It's just called Gracie. And then the Aigo, I just called her Wee Blue because she was blue and I had a blue badge in the back because obviously it was a version of the car. Mm-hmm. So I just called her Wee Blue. And the Fiesta, I didn't really have a name for her. She did get called a few names throughout the year, but I don't think we can say them on here. But no, I didn't really come up with a name for the Fiesta. I probably should have, you know. Mm-hmm. I'm trying not to get as attached to cars because...
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
Would you try and have a new one, like, every so often, or, like, do you mind getting attached with it?
I had the Peugeot for 5 years. 4 years. And then I had the Aigo for a year. And I knew the Aigo was only for a year. So I was okay.
Yeah.
With that knuckle. The Fiesta, again, it was just a stepping stone. Like, the plan was to have it for a few years and do a few rounds, but I sort of blew my budget last year, so we're going to have to cut back on that. It's just a constant stepping stone, really, on where you want to be. You know, the next step up would be a Rally 4, which is basically just the newer version of the car I have at the minute. Mm-hmm. But it's just getting there. But it will happen.
Little steps.
Yeah, baby steps.
Baby steps.
Exactly. We'll get there.
So we're talking about your co-driver. I know you've been one yourself too.
Yeah.
How is that? Like, how important are they and how much pressure do you feel whenever you're the one that's co-driving?
A co-driver is more important than a driver. Mm-hmm. And I always feel bad for the co-driver because they have to deal with everything. Like, literally everything. A good co-driver will not let the driver know if there's a problem. They won't let them know. Like, the only thing they should be focused on is driving. My first co-driver I had, Duffy, he's just sort of became like my second dad. So, and he's had a load of experience. Like, he's been co-driving for over 20 years. Josh McCurlane, who's in the WRC now, well, he was his co-driver in the Junior 1000s.
Oh, right, okay.
I asked him, and he was retired whenever I asked him, but he came back out and done it for me.
Aw,
I know.
Nice of him.
So he taught me a lot. And not only driving but co-driving as well, because obviously sat with loads of different drivers and top drivers at that. Whenever I was looking for a navigator for last year, I put it up on Facebook because navigators are hard got. You know, a lot of navigators now, like the good ones, want more or less everything covered, and then so you sort of have to make a compromise. Do you want someone with a lot of experience, or do you want somebody, you know, who mightn't have the same amount of experience but they're willing to learn?
Mm-hmm.
And I found Dylan then, and he, God love him. Oh, he put up with some handlings this year. But
would you say you have like road rage?
Oh, so bad. Oh, so bad. Some of my onboards like will never be published. Like, it's ridiculous. But no, me and Dylan got on really well, and he's a fantastic navigator, and he put up with a lot of my gurning and a lot of complaining. But he's that calm and laid back that whenever I was all hyped up and angry, he was able to, you know, tone it down.
Yeah, I suppose that's what you need.
You need that too as well. But no, I got very lucky. But definitely being a navigator is probably the hardest. It is an immense pressure. You know, you call a wrong note and your driver's going a bit too fast, like, you know, and everyone always says, I should just blame the co-driver, but you know, that's the issue. You know, it is a really difficult job, but it can be whatever you want to make of it as well. I always found it more comfortable driving because I'm not a very good passenger, but once you find somebody who you're comfortable in the car with, it doesn't matter, you know.
Yeah.
But no, I really did. I enjoy my time co-driving, and I'll probably be doing a bit more of it this year. But no, Dylan definitely had a hard job this year past.
I have to say, whenever I was doing the promo for this one, I was watching your onboard videos, not a notion what was being said.
Yeah.
I was just like, I have no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah. The notes, every driver is different. There's no two drivers with the same notes. And even then, with the notes, there's different ways the notes can be called. Like, I am a weirdo. I go one fastest, which a lot of people don't agree with nowadays, but basically I base it off the degree of the corner. So to me, if it's a slight bend, it's 1 because it's the least degree, so you can go flat out. Whereas a lot of people would be thinking, right, that's a 1, I need to be in first gear. And then 6 is flat out. So if you're 6th gear, you're obviously flat out, so that's why a 6 for them would be my 1. And then you've people again who use descriptive notes, so they would be like slight left, medium right, things like that there. But that's sort of phased out now. They use more numbers. Pace notes is something, it's just one of the things you have to learn.
Yeah, it's all about learning.
Yeah, but they are gibberish if you don't know. They really are gibberish.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah.
How would you even, like, how would someone even like try and get into something like that?
Co-driving? Yeah. The best way how my daddy taught me was he keeps all his pace notes and all his road books from every rally that he's ever navigated in. So the Tour of the Sperrins is their local rally, and he would wake me up early on a Sunday morning, and he would hand me a road book and a pace notes, and we would go and drive up around like Davin Mountains and stuff like that there, where the stages were that he had notes, and he would literally teach me how to call them, find your rhythm, you know, things like that there. That's the best way to learn. Even just go on YouTube and see them where you listen, because you can see, you know, if you're watching an onboard, you can see what the driver sees, so you can sort of learn to pick up then maybe what a three left looks like or a 3 right looks like. But no, the best way to get into it is honestly just find somebody, maybe like a co-driver who isn't doing as much, and teach you, because you'll always find that they're, you know, people who've been in the game a long time, like they've been in the game for a long time for a reason. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I suppose it's all about helping people.
Exactly. Exactly.
So obviously you're a mechanic as well. When did you get into that? When did you know that you wanted to work on cars?
I didn't. I really didn't. I was sitting in my old science classroom.
Everything starts in science, doesn't it?
Always. I was sitting in my old science classroom, and my dad texted me, and he was like, "Do you want a summer job?" And I was like, right, okay. And I was waitressing at this point. And I was like, what could this be? And he was up with a boy doing a test. A boy he was friends with was up doing a test, and the mechanic who was running that boy's car was saying to Daddy, like, he was finding it hard. Like, he was there by himself. He had to do everything by himself, and he was really, really busy. So I was like, he's like, yes, doing like rally prep and cars and stuff like that. I was like, absolutely, yes, 100%. That sounds so perfect. So I started with Ronan and absolutely loved it. And he offered me my apprenticeship, which I didn't really think of. I was like, I'm going to wait till I get my GCSE results and see how it goes. And like, I done really well in my GCSEs. I could have stayed on in school if I want to, but the more I thought about it, I was like, no, I don't like it. I didn't mind school. I done well in school, but I didn't particularly like it. I didn't want to stay there.
You weren't really bothered.
Yeah. So when working with Ronan, that was great. He offered me my apprenticeship, rung the tech. They were like, yeah, no bother, come in whenever you get your results. So I went up to Lumber Valley Tech and gave them my results, and they were like, yep, perfect, see you in 2 weeks. I says, I'll be there. And that was alright. And then I worked for Ronan for a year and a half, and then because we were doing all rally car work, on my tech course was road cars, so I wasn't getting like job cards and things like that done. So I moved over to Kevin Duffin now. He does road cars and does quite a bit, not as much now, but he does rally cars as well. So you're still sort of in, but I'm also getting my apprenticeship as well. So
yeah, it's best of both worlds.
Yeah, exactly. A mixture.
Telepathic.
I'm telling you. I enjoy it. I don't think I'd be able to sit in an office all day. The thought of that really.
Oh no, that's
yeah.
I'm doing a bit of that right now, and I'm just like, I just need to be like doing a variety of things, like doing something different.
That's the thing too, and I don't think I could work in a dealership for that same reason, just purely because it's the same cars every day, same problems, you know. Whereas you're sort of working in a garage that takes on anything, and I feel like you learn a lot more as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
How do you feel being a mechanic and a rally driver in a male-dominated space? What's it like for you?
It has its ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's some days I absolutely hate it, and I'm like, this is actually the worst thing in the world. Like, whenever you're standing under a car and it's been raining outside, so it's dripping down your back. And
see, it's little things like that you don't really think about.
And then your hair, and then your face is dirty, and your hands are dirty, and everything's dirty, and you're like, I want a shower.
Yeah.
And it's only 8:30 in the morning. So, like, then there's other sides of it where, you know, you can do so much with it. Like, it's whatever you want it to be at the end of the day. And I always find it easy enough going into male dominated places. Like, I was raised mainly by my daddy, so I was always sort of around men. I was on the site with him all the time when I was younger, so it didn't actually faze me.
I feel like if you're surrounded more by men, like they kind of teach you to be tough and you know, to stand your ground.
Yeah, definitely.
Although in saying that, if my mum's listening to this, she taught me that as well.
Yeah.
Just
no, 100%. I'll tell you, my stepmom is the one who taught me to stand up for myself. Like, she's an incredibly strong woman, but no. So I was always sort of around, you know, I was around building sites and all that. Like, whenever I was like really young, like my daddy used to keep me like behind the seat of the digger. Like,
love that.
Yeah. So like I've always been around it, and I don't know, like it has, like, don't get me wrong, like there's days and you're just like, someone will say something to you and you're just like, you have no idea. Like, you don't know, like, they just take a lot for granted. I haven't got a lot of stick, but you get the usual sagging, do you know what I mean? But it is what it is. At the end of the day, you're going into that industry, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you know exactly that you're going to get it either way.
I always found it a bit more difficult with girls, trying to explain to girls. They tend to be the ones who be a bit more like...
Yeah, I feel like there's some girls that are super supportive and really do want to see you do well, and then there's other ones that are just not really sure about like welcoming you into the same thing. Yeah,
because they've worked so hard to make their own place, and then they get sort of territorial over it, which you can understand that as well, because they've earned their place there, and they're sort of like, well, she's not just going to walk in and ruin my whole thing. Like, don't get me wrong, I haven't really encountered any girls like that, but there's been a few, but nothing crazy, and all like my friends and all, like they're great. But you know, there's a few girls there maybe like you would have went to school with, or you know, you just know them and they're sort of like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? I haven't had a lot of bad experiences now, to be fair. Like, there's a few times in tech there it takes a lot for me not to lose my temper with them, like, but that's just the boys in my tech class. But, you know,
have you ever lost your temper?
Oh, I'm a redhead. Daily basis. Oh, the amount of cards I'd be screaming at because I can't get a bolt slack or something. It's crazy.
I have to say I'm the same. I'm not even a redhead, but it comes and goes.
Yeah, exactly.
How have you seen like the landscape for women in rally change over the years?
Massively. The only girls I can really vividly remember seeing growing up would be Katie Cummings and Amy Cox. Amy Cox is from Lisburn direction. I'm not actually too sure, but she done a rally I went to. I think it might have been the Circuit of Ireland, 2012 maybe. Don't quote me on that. It was something. I was at home anyway. And she was the first girl I ever seen in a rally suit. And I remember being like, oh my god, what?
Yeah.
And I didn't see anybody for ages after that. And then, you know, women are psychologically different. Like, people want to say what they say. Like, you know, you're going into a male-dominated sport. Like, what do you expect? Yeah, that's grand. But women's brains are wired differently. It's just the way it is. It's, you know, you can't change that. And to me, a woman's brain and skills are more suited to navigate. She's got to be so organised and everything is, you know, whereas driving, you just have to be mental. Like, you just genuinely like just have to be. Like, wire has to be loose somewhere or something.
You're saying your wires are loose.
I know a few people would say the same thing, you know, but yeah. So it's one of them things. I have seen it change a lot. The main thing I've seen is it's being a lot more encouraged. You know, it was never not encouraged, but it's been opened and the opportunities have been opened more. Like I was saying before we come on about the programme that the WRC were running about the girls getting selected to do a full round of the junior rally championship. Like things like that there, just putting emphasis on the fact that the girls are more capable.
It's definitely coming a lot more into light than it used to be.
Yeah.
Obviously you talked about Amy. Are there any female drivers that, you know, have inspired you? Yeah,
there is. My main one would probably be Michelle Mouton. She is the OG. She's just fantastic. I think she rallied during Group B. Now Group B cars were absolutely crazy. Like the power that they were pushing out for the lightness of them, and she was going winning rallies and beating the boys in the world championship. Like that is unbelievable.
Yeah, that's what you need.
Yeah, like that's so badass. Like she was probably definitely up there. Like, you know, she's fantastic. More recently, the likes of Gemma McCann. She is from Cavan, and she rallies in R5 Fiesta. And I think she's just incredible. Along with, on obviously the main one at the minute coming out of our wee island is Aoife Rafferty. She is just she is doing amazing things for girls, not just in motorsport but girls in STEM. You know, loads of things like that there. Yeah. She's just fantastic, and the amount of work and effort she puts in, you can't praise her enough. She's done phenomenal. She was in Europe last year, putting in some absolute killer rounds. Like it's just so fantastic to see. And she's always been so supportive. Like, you could text her and ask her anything and she'd be right back to you, and whatever she can do to help, she'll do it. She's great.
Love a supportive gal.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's great.
That's good. What has been your proudest moment so far?
My proudest moment so far, probably Carlo this year. I won the class, and that was great, but that felt like a bit of a cheat because the other two boys crashed out.
You gotta give yourself the win.
Yeah, I know, and like I know I still won or whatever.
At least you kept it between the hedges.
Exactly. That there, I was really happy, but then there was sort of, you know, your brain starts eating at you. You're like, yeah, but sure, them other two, if they kept on the road, like they would have won it. Like, what do you, like, do you know what I mean? Probably, I don't know. That's a really good question. Tour of the Sperrins last year, 2024. It was the day before Carlo, actually. So I done Tour of the Sperrins on the Saturday and Carlo won the Sunday. Because obviously Tour of the Sperrins was a home rally, but Carlo was championship round, and I was going for the championship. That was okay. First stage was cancelled. There was an accident. Everyone was okay, but we went to the second stage. Absolutely unbelievable, risky, up on the side of a mountain. Fantastic, unbelievable. Motor Club put on class stages, and then we got to the third stage, and it was going great. Brilliant sunny day, roads bone dry. I was like, this is fantastic. I'm loving this. And I was like, right, Ciara, you're just gonna have to go for this here. That was okay. Thought I knew the road. That's your first problem. You never know the road. And I missed the 100 metre arrow to start braking. And it would have been a square right. And I was still in third gear. And I just flung her in, hope for the best. Pulled the handbrake, nothing happened. Straight up to the hedge, 2 wheels. Nearly was over on my lid. And I was like, oh my God. Like, oh my God, my dad is going to kill me. Because we had to get to Carlo the next day. I was like, oh my God.
Is it the fear, oh my goodness, I could have died, or oh my goodness, my dad is going to kill me?
Definitely, my dad's going to kill me. You know, but Dylan could have put his hand out the window and touched the tarmac. Like, I don't know how we didn't roll, but getting to the end of that rally and seeing the finish line, seeing that final time control, I was like, thank you. And I was but I was like, it was my home rally. Like, it's an amazing feeling. Like, you know, those are the roads the roads you grew up on. You know,
and for you to be competing on that,
and like the first, you know, that was probably the first rally I ever been to. Would have been that rally as well. And here I am,
taking it home.
Well, I didn't really. I don't know where I finished. I finished anyway, but I don't know how that day went, to be honest. I didn't look at any times. I was just like, thank God. Like, honestly, thank God. I don't know how I got out of that one. But that week was quite tough because we had gone to Carlo on the Sunday to recce for the following weekend. So went, and then Dylan had come up on Thursday night. We recce'd for the Sperrins on the Friday. Done the rally on the Saturday, down the road on Saturday evening to go to where we were staying in Carlo, and then went and done the rally in Carlo on Sunday, and back up the road on Sunday night, and back into work on Monday morning.
Quick turnaround. You're like a rock star.
Yeah.
Touring bike.
No, but that whole weekend, it was fantastic. It was great. Probably my proudest.
Do you have any like funny behind the scenes stories from your rallies?
Far too many. I have far too many. The boys I rally with are such good crack. There's just, I can't even think. There's so many. Probably the road sections. Me and Dylan last year. The road sections. Some of those conversations. You know that. It's just so funny, and you know Dylan is very quiet, but he'll come out with these one-liners that are just will leave you laughing for hours. It's just you I actually don't know. No, I don't think so. I can't. Oh,
there's too many.
There's far too many. I just did such. I just try to enjoy it as much as I can, and a lot of people will be like side-eyeing me at that because I always have a head on me like thunder, but I promise I am enjoying it. Like, I really am.
You're just keeping focused.
Yeah, I'm just focused.
You're in the zone.
Probably. I don't know that question. That's a really good question. Maybe come back to that.
Okay, we'll come back to it. If you could rally anywhere in the world, where would you go?
Finland. Gravel. Best stages in the world.
What car would you do it in?
Sebastian Ogier's 2017 Fiesta World Rally car.
Specific?
Yep, I've thought of this.
Specific.
If we're speaking of rally, definitely Finland. If we're doing stage, I don't know. I'd say Finland. We'll just go with Finland.
Okay, we'll go with Finland.
Yeah.
Now, I know you said you're not competing in this season. But what is next for your rally career?
Probably see me a good bit in the co-driver seat this year. I'll try and get as many seats as I can. You know, I haven't. At the end of the day, I'm 19. I have a load of life left.
Yeah, you've got all of your life left to live.
And it is like, it's one of them things. Like, as much as I love it, it's such high commitment. Like, last year I was working in a bar and working mechanic, and so any weekend I wasn't rallying, I was working. It was just constant. You know what I mean? And I had a load of great sponsors and everything last year as well. But the price is worth it. Like, at the end of the day, you know what you're getting into again. It's it's just crazy, but it is worth every single penny. 100% of that.
And for anyone watching or listening, where can they follow you?
Follow me everywhere. Ciara Duggan Rallying on Instagram, Ciara Duggan Rallying on Facebook, and I think it's Ciara D378 on TikTok. Don't quote me on that. I think it's that though. You can tag it.
Yeah, well, I'll tag it.
Yeah.
And finally, before we have a fun, quick fire round of this or that, what's one piece of advice you would give to a young girl that's wanting to get into rallying?
Just do it. Just do it. Whatever you think anybody's going to say to you or anybody's going to think you, it doesn't matter. If it makes you happy, just do it. And just say yes. Say yes to every opportunity, because you never know where it'll lead.
Yeah, I stand by that, to be fair. I do. Okay, quick fire.
Here we go.
This or that. Manual or automatic?
Manual.
Tarmac or off-road?
Off-road gravel.
Build it or buy it?
Build it.
Correct answer. Night drives or sunset cruises?
Ooh. Night drives.
I think I'd go for sunset cruises.
Would you?
Love a wee sunset. Trainers or boots in the garage?
Boots. Always.
Night owl or morning person?
Night owl.
Energy drink or iced coffee?
Energy drink.
Staying in or going out?
Going out.
You're young at heart.
Yeah.
Makeup or no makeup?
Makeup.
Summer vibes or cozy winters?
That's such a hard one. Such a hard one. I love winter when it's not winter.
What does that mean?
I love the thought of winter.
Oh, yeah.
I just hate winter.
I hate the cold weather.
I'm going to say autumn. Autumn is my favourite season.
Yeah, it's half and half.
Yeah.
And finally, driver or co-driver?
Driver.
Driver
at heart, always.
Love that. Well, thank you so much,
Of course.
for joining us on She Drives. But since we do love a wee surprise around here, and this is not going to be the last time we're going to be seeing Ciara, because she is joining us for any future episodes. Yay! We're going to be talking about everything.
Yeah.
Everything and anything.
Whatever you want to hear, we'll talk about it.
Exactly. So if you want to hear about anything, let us know.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe,
Share it, comment,
follow our channel,
do everything.
Yeah, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok at She Drives Podcast. We've also nearly reached 1,000 followers on TikTok.
Fantastic.
Which is mental.
Thank you so much, guys.
So if we could get that by the next podcast, it'll be fab. Thank you so much for tuning in, and you'll be seeing both of us in 2 weeks' time. Bye.
Bye.